Hello, welcome back to the channel, and on this video I'm going to be doing a recipe from the Elder Scrolls. It's the official cookbook of Elder Scrolls. Now, Elder Scrolls is a video game. I've played Skyrim, Elder Scrolls over the years, and it's just a fantastic video game. And when Abby bought me this, I think it was last year, maybe in Christmas. And I've not done any recipes out of it as yet, so I'm going to give it a go. And the first one you've probably seen on the title is going to be the cheese scones. So I'll give the cheese scones a quick whirl. So I'll get down to it, we'll come back and I'll taste them. Okay, so it's the cheese scones out of the Elder Scrolls book. So let's go through the ingredients. First thing, going to need 500 grams of plain flour. It says 2 cups of all-purpose flour in the recipe, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of the baking powder here, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of mustard powder. In the recipe it says 1/4 cup of cold unsalted butter, so that works out around about 65 grams of butter, half a cup of sour cream, which works out about 125 mils, 250 grams of grated cheddar. The recipe calls for 1/4 cup of buttermilk, but also in the instructions, the method, it says just pour until you get the right consistency. So it says 1/4 cup, but you may use less, you may use more. And 1/4 cup works out at 65 grams mils again. 1 egg, and all you got to do with that is lightly beat it, and that's for basically when you get to the end of the scone, you're going to put it on for glazing. The last thing is Parmesan cheese, and you're going to basically grate this over the top of the scones at the end. So again, it says 2 tablespoons, but it's whatever you want to do, to be honest. When you grate it, you can have more or less. Right, so first thing, get all the dry ingredients, put it all in to the flour. So everything that's going in there dry. Give this give this a quick mix with your hand. Good using hands all the way through this, no machines. Just easier. You shouldn't really overwork a dough of a scone. I think my big hand's in the way there. But there you go, that's mixed in. So once you put the dry in, then just chop your butter up into little chunks, cubes. Just start to add that to your flour, and then you got to rub it in like you want it to be like a breadcrumb consistency. I think that's the best way to describe it. So just get your hands in again, just start rubbing the flour and butter together. We'll come back when we've got a nice, like I say, breadcrumb consistency. Okay, so you can see now we've got this nice, like I say, breadcrumb consistency in the flour. Next bit is add that sour cream, so the whole lot's going in. Right, we've got the sour cream in, so let's get it mixed in. I'm just covering it up a little bit because I don't want it to be stuck to my hands too much. I want it in the flour, not all over my hands. So, like I said before, use your hand like a little mixer. So off we go. Sour cream is basically used as an activator along with your baking powder. And whilst I've been doing this, you need to preheat your oven as well to 200 or 400 in the recipe Fahrenheit. So it's 200 C. There we go. So it's not too bad, it's not stuck that much. So the next bit is the grated cheese. So it is a cheesy scone, there's a lot of cheese. So again, you're just bringing it all together. Right, so now it's time for the buttermilk to go in, and you just got to add it. What you're looking for a nice dough consistency. Nothing too dry and definitely nothing too wet at this stage. So just add a little bit, and you just keep mixing again, like a machine, like a dough hook, but use your hand. Okay, I'm happy with that now. There you go. Ball of dough. So what I've got to do now, flour the work surface, and then it says to flatten it out and then fold it in on itself. So we'll do as the recipe is saying. Okay, so it says to get your dough on a floured board, and it says flatten it out. This is a bit, different than how we normally do scones ourselves. So we're going to flatten it out with our hands. We're not going to use a rolling pin. Then it says bring it over, flatten out again, and then we're going to bring it over again, flatten it out. Then we've got to get it into a rough circular shape and about 1/2 inch of thickness, so we need to push it down a little bit more. Hopefully it's going to rise. Like I say, we're going off the Elder Scrolls recipe here, so we're just doing what it says. But yeah, a bit of pushing to get that down again. Just hope I'm not overdoing this, which will be frustrating if we just end up with some sort of tough biscuit. Okay, so we've got a rough circle, and it says just cut them into irregular triangles. So I'm going to go straight down the middle. Let's do some triangle type things. There we go. Now you've got to put these onto a baking tray, and then we're going to brush them with egg and then sprinkle some of the parmesan over the top. Okay, so just paint the tops. I'd avoid going down the sides, because I think if you went down the sides that would restrict the actual scone. If it is going to rise after the amount of time we've pushed it down, it's going to restrict it, so you leave the sides clear. That's what we do anyway, normally, so let's hope that's still the same. Then just sprinkle with some grated parmesan on top of each one. And then these are ready for the oven. 15 minutes, like I say, on on 200C. I will put in what gas mark that is. I don't even know what gas mark it is. We've got an electric fan assisted oven, so I'm doing it off that. So there they go, they're ready. It's gas mark 6 in a gas oven. There we go, out the oven, 15 minutes, and there the cheese scones. So what we'll do now, we'll go back to me and I'll try one. There you go, so there's the scone. I think you would get a better rise on them scones if you didn't have to knead them and fold them and all the messing you do. I think a better recipe is one that we use, which is hardly any kneading, and you get a nice solid rise. But they're okay. They actually look like the ones in the book. Let's have a little taste. They're really, really nice. Mrs. B likes them. Mrs. B was like them with chutney, is it a chili, tomato and chili chutney?
Sweet and this sweet caramel.
There's a few in there,
yeah.
But that'll go nice with chutney. I'm going to be having it with, there's going to be another video coming up. It's another Elder Scrolls recipe, and that's why I've done these, because I want these as a side to that recipe. So keep your eyes open if you enjoyed this video. For the next video, another Elder Scrolls recipe, which is going to go very well with these scones, but worth giving a go. But I would definitely nowhere near knead and fold like I did. I was worried when I was doing it. I knew something was going to not rise like I wanted it to. And if I do these again, I'm definitely not going to be messing about with all that kneading. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another one.